What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. So tonight was the 2020 Screen Actors Guild Awards, aka the SAG Awards. They showcased their winners and losers, and I'm going to be flat honest with you. Other than the two that are on screen, not too much of a spoiler, I have no clue who won. I found this article, I scrolled to the bottom, I have stayed off Twitter tonight, we had company over, that's why I was absent. I couldn't do what I normally do, which is a live reaction. This is still kind of a reaction. Promise I'm not making it up, hand on the Bible. Regardless, the point of this video is to talk about the winners and to talk about what could possibly change with our outlook towards the Oscars. It all comes down to who wins the final few awards. I will definitely hit on the TV stuff, but as always, I haven't seen every single TV show as opposed to I have seen pretty much every single movie, so we'll definitely get into it. I need your comments down below. Did the winners surprise you? Were you shocked? I have no clue what is about to happen, but I'm interested to see, especially when we get into those final four awards. So here we go. The first two categories, obviously, we have Stunt Ensemble in a Comedy or Drama Series and a Motion Picture. Game of Thrones, I believe that's who I predicted in my predictions video, won that category because obviously the stunts. Still don't know why John Wick wasn't nominated for Motion Picture, but Avengers Endgame won that category. And I get it, some would argue that, well, it was mostly CGI, this and that, but you watch the behind the scenes, a lot of stunts and a lot of stunt men and women involved in that film, so it was good to see that. That or Ford v Ferrari, I believe, deserved to win that category out of all of those films. So as we scroll up here, outstanding performance by a male actor in a comedy series, Tony Shalhoub, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Kind of a shock. I think I predicted Bill Hader at Golden Globes. Bill Hader lost, and once again, I can't believe it. I really enjoyed the third season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, but from what I've been seeing, it's not been as talked about as the first two seasons, but definitely a nice surprise, and I see that. I need to quit scrolling so far. Phoebe Waller-Bridge won for Fleabag. I am in the midst of Fleabag right now, as I promised you guys I would be. So many people telling me to watch that show, and is really good. It was nice to see her win that for female actor in a comedy series. Outstanding performance by an ensemble in a comedy series. The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel over Fleabag. Wow, that has to be a surprise for many. I know a lot of people were saying Fleabag was going to take that. Not too disappointed because I love both of these shows, but definitely a shock for me. Outstanding performance by a female actor in a supporting role. Now, here's where we get into a little bit of Oscar talk, and this confirms the Laura Dern push for the Oscars. She is basically, you can chalk it down, she's going to win the Oscar. She's won every single award almost. It's one after another and once again, I really enjoyed her performance in Marriage Story. If I had to pick someone that I would, I'd be rooting for over Laura Dern, Scarlett Johansson, but it's nice to see Laura Dern win for that film. It's good that it's going to win something. Outstanding performance by a male actor in a supporting role. Yeah, this is Brad Pitt's Oscar to lose. Everything is going the way I thought it would go so far in the movie categories. We all know that Brad Pitt is at the forefront of winning this, and it's so weird seeing Jamie Foxx in there. I'm like, Austin, this isn't the Oscars. This is the SAG Awards, but just another reason why Brad Pitt is probably going to win that Oscar. Outstanding performance by a female actor in a television movie or miniseries. One would have assumed maybe an Emily Watson or even a Patricia Arquette, but Michelle Williams wins it for Fosse Verdon, and I've heard nonstop praise for this show for all of the performances, so it's cool to see her win. She is an awards-worthy actress up and down the movie world and the TV world. She was also in Venom, so that was the thing. That actually happened. Outstanding performance by a female actor in a drama series. This one's a shock, too. I would have said Olivia Colman. I would have said Elizabeth Moss, Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show. Apple Plus, getting some love. I'm still a little behind on The Morning Show. I watched the first few episodes and I liked it, but I had a feeling it was going to go in an awards-worthy direction, but it's nice to get confirmation that she was as good as it looked like she was going to be. Wow. A bit of a shocker there, to be honest. Next up, outstanding performance by a male actor in a drama series, and as most people assumed, being the final season and whatnot. By the way, it's really nice to see David Harbour and Steve Carell in there, but Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage, just dominates every ounce of screen time in Game of Thrones. He was great in the final season. Say what you will about the season itself. He was phenomenal. It's good to see him win that. Let's see if we have any more movie categories. So, outstanding performance by an ensemble in a drama series. And even though The Crown, all of the shows on this list, The Crown is the one that I haven't seen, even though The Crown is the last thing I need to get to, it was kind of the talk that either The Crown or maybe The Handmaid's Tale was going to win this, but it went to The Crown. No surprise there. It is nice to see a couple of shows on there that I really, really enjoy, but obviously The Crown was the talk of Netflix over the past couple of months in terms of awards. And then, as expected, Michelle Williams won one. Sam Rockwell wins the other for Fosse Verdon for outstanding performance by a male actor in a television movie or miniseries. You know, since Fosse Verdon won both categories, it's not too much of a shock. I would have chosen Jared Harris for Chernobyl. It's nice to see he got love elsewhere, Chernobyl being my favorite, one of my favorite things on television last year. But Sam Rockwell, we know he puts in great performances, so not a huge shock there. Yep. We have Laura Dern. Check. We have Brad Pitt. Check. And the next one to mark off the list. And now if something surprising would have happened here, say a Leo or an Adam Driver, then I would have been like, okay, maybe this could surprise us, but no, this isn't surprising us. Joaquin is, I think, who the majority wanted to win. He's who I wanted to win, so it's nice to see him win once again. This is Joaquin's Oscar. Everyone else is just showing up to the party. That's the way it's going to be this year. I don't see it turning out any other way. And man, oh man, was he fantastic in this movie. I've talked about that. And boom, 4 for 4. No surprises, no shocks here. The only one that I thought had maybe a shot if she could have won tonight was Scarlett Johansson, but no, it's Renee's award. I would not be surprised if all 4 of those just one after another at the Oscars. They just continue to win, and I will have a video later on this week talking about Oscar voting because there was an article that recently came out, and I want to talk about it. But in terms of who is winning this year, it makes a lot of sense. You know, she's not my favorite out of this group of 5, but Renee was really good in Judy. I liked the movie. I really liked her performance. Not necessarily a standout of the year for me personally, but I understand why it's winning, so no major shock there. I don't really know how many awards we have left. I assume we're getting to the end. Here we go. We're going to find out who won Best Ensemble. Now, I have some opinions. There are 2 movies in particular, Once Upon a Time and Parasite. If either one of those wins this, I think either one of those has a better shot at the Oscars. The other movies on this list, yeah, good job. I don't think they have a shot necessarily, but this could turn the tide. Now, it's not like the winner of this wins the Oscar every year. Last year, Black Panther won, right? Obviously, that didn't win the Oscar. But for the films in contention this year and the fact that it's so close, this could push their chances. Learning, seeing the patterns of the way that people vote. And if it does go to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, it may end up being my number 1. So here we go. I gotta double check. Oh, God. It's true. It's true. Wow. The first tweet that pulls up, the first non-English language film to ever win Best Ensemble at the SAG Awards. And it's in a better position now than it ever has been to be the first non-English language film to win Best Picture at the Oscars. He said the little engine that could. That was Scott Feinberg. Wow. Shocked. Take into account what I just said. I just thought it would be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, or even a Jojo Rabbit. Man, I'm shocked, but I am ecstatic, man. If you guys watch my Oscar video, one of the many, I talked about the fact that I kind of want. I mean, 1917 is probably my favorite movie of the year, but in terms of quality, in terms of just what it's achieved, and the fact that it's so rich as a film, Parasite, man, I am so happy Parasite won outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture. And I assume a lot of people are happy because this is the movie. You know, every year we have those films that there are 3 or 4 in contention, and Some people are pulling for this one, some people are pulling for that one, but there's never really an overwhelming majority. I'd say this year, from a film fan perspective, not even a general audience, but a film fan perspective, Parasite is like the leader. We all want to see Parasite take it home. Even if it's not your favorite movie of the year, Parasite's one of those movies, even if you didn't love the film, you're probably rooting for it just because of the story behind it, the director, Bong Joon-ho, and this cast, and how wonderful they all seem to be. The fact that it won this award, I think, nudges it just a little bit. Is it my lead contender now? Probably not still. I'd still put that in the 1917 boat. But I think there's a pretty good margin between this and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood now. A lot of people will still say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because it's racked up in multiple other places, but so has 1917. And in terms of overall awards, I still believe Parasite has more than any of them. The last time I saw that tweet, Rotten Tomatoes, I believe it was last week, and Parasite had won over 111 awards total this awards season. So this is a big win for the film, and it definitely nudges it in that direction. It is, wow, I kind of wish I was watching at this point. Darn you people in my house. They're gone now. Regardless, what did you guys think about this year's SAG Awards? Did anything crazy happen during the speeches and stuff? I'm going to go watch all the videos on Twitter. Now I can use my social media, which is great. Really nice surprise at the end there. I would love to see your responses down below and just hear how the tide is shifting, possibly in Parasite's direction. There are now, in my opinion, 3 major contenders for Best Picture. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, 1917. Really enjoy, love all 3 of those films. So it's a pretty good year. It's a pretty good year for movies. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like I said, I have a very interesting video coming out this week. I encourage you guys to tune in for that. May ruffle some feathers, but I don't care. And also, I'll be talking more movies and Netflix and everything that I always do. You guys are truly the best, and I'll see you soon.